These are men that are legends in their own times, or was that legend in their own minds? They are nonetheless the men of MMA Lockup.
Folks, welcome back to MMA Lockup. I'm Jeremy Hurtt. On the line, we got Jacob the Bull Brown, the 10-year-old Jiu-Jitsu prodigy. And if you knew who I was talking about when I said 10-year-old Jiu-Jitsu prodigy, it's probably Jacob the Bull Brown. You've been cleaning up on the mat, son. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about, first of all, we like to hear everybody's story, and your story is definitely unique. A 10-year-old Jiu-Jitsu champion. Tell us, how did you get started?
Well, when I first got bullied at school, and then I told my dad that I wanted to do something about it, or I wanted to start training or something. And then the first thing we found out about was karate, and then we did that for a few months when I was like 6. And then a few months later, my mom's sister, she told us that she does jiu-jitsu. When Dad took me to a jiu-jitsu class, I instantly loved it. It was like awesome. I said, Dad, whoa, this is so great. And I was like, oh, I was so in love with it. And then I started going on and on and on. And then that's when I started to love jiu-jitsu. You
fell in love with it right off the bat. You started at the age of 6. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Now here you are, you're 10. Like I said, you're a multiple champion. How many kind of belts and titles have you won, Jacob?
So far, I won 4.
4. Man, that's impressive. I don't think I'd accomplished anything by age 10. You're definitely way ahead of me on that track, brother. Tell me, what's coming up for you next? What's your next competition? What are you looking at as far as your jiu-jitsu career? Where's that headed next?
Well, the next competition that I will do is Naga. That is in March.
And where's that at?
That's going to be at Arizona.
So out in the heat. It's going to start heating up around March. Boy, I tell you, where does that fit in as far as like the tournaments you've done to this point in your career, as far as the size of that tournament? Is that a pretty big tournament coming up?
Yes.
So it's a pretty high level. Tell us, what's the highest level tournament you've won, Jacob?
Well, I am an all-age belt, and I love doing the competing. So far, I've been doing good. I'm an expert. All
right. Well, folks, you're listening to MMA Lockup. This is Jeremy Hurtt. Make sure you check out the website, MMALockup.com. Also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at MMALockup. We're talking to 10-year-old Jiu-Jitsu prodigy, Jacob the Bull Brown. Jacob, I was looking around online. I saw where you said that you were looking forward to working in the UFC as an adult. Is that true?
Yes.
What kind of training other than Jiu-Jitsu? We know you're a master of Jiu-Jitsu. What other kind of training are you incorporating right now? What are you working on in the gym?
Oh, that's a good question to say. Actually, I do the sport called capoeira. Do you know that?
I do. The Brazilian artistic sport, correct?
Yes, that's what I do. And Muay Thai and boxing.
So you're pretty well-rounded. You already got your jiu-jitsu game round out. You're 10 years old, and you're already way ahead of the curve.
Oh, yeah. And especially the judo. The judo is my favorite, most part about it.
You know, a lot of people look and they say this kid's doing all of these different things. He's 10 years old. I know some people, perhaps adults, might sometimes wonder about a kid your age doing something that can be violent. What does training MMA, what does it do for you? How does it improve your life?
Well, I really love my sports. I love what I do. I enjoy it. No pressure on it. I always want to go to the gym every day. I work out. I love what I do. No hard pressure on it. Just fun.
You know, one of the things that martial arts does for kids is it gives them discipline. Jacob the Bull Brown, you're on the record on MMA Lockup. What kind of grades do you get in class?
The grades I get in class, sometimes I'll get a C because maybe the test will be hard, but I will get A's and I got A's and B's.
You're in there doing the work day in, day out, just like on the mats, right?
Yep.
I was talking to Chris the other day, another Chris Matthews here with MMA Lockup, and we were talking about the fact that the sport's changing so much, and it's only going to keep changing. It's kind of at this spot where it's going to blow up, and the reason why is there are kids out there your age that are, already have that dedication, already have those skills, already in the gym working out all these different factors of the game. When that generation gets to a certain age, I mean, you realize like your generation is pretty much the future of the sport, right?
Yes.
So tell me, as far as with the kids that you're competing with, are they mostly around your age, or are you kind of big? Are you going to end up being a light heavyweight, or are we going to be looking at a featherweight, lightweight, you think?
Well, most of the time, every kid that I do fight is actually my age, same size, 60, 65.
So we're probably looking at future middleweight champion in the UFC, Jacob the Bull Brown. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
All right. Well, Jacob, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I just really happy to have you on the show. We like to get a lot of different people at all levels of the sport and all facets of the sport. And to have a kid that's, again, 10 years old and already a jiu-jitsu prodigy, I'm not sure what I had accomplished by age 10. I had alphabetized some baseball cards. That's about as far as I'd gotten. You know what baseball cards are, Jacob?
What's that?
Do you know what baseball cards are? Do they still do that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, good. I'm not completely out of touch, at least. And just before we go, do you want to give any shout-outs or anybody you want to say hello to? Anything you want to say to anyone in particular?
As a matter of fact, yes, I do want to do a shout-out. I actually want to thank my sponsors, Bison Mascars, Os Kimonos. I want to thank you, Jeremy, and Joe Hamlin. And I also want to thank MMA Lockup, and that's it.
All right, Jacob, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure having you, and you're welcome back anytime.
Yes, today was a good show. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks.